morning, Tottenham fans. Welcome back to the Irish Hotspur with your boys Dave and Jack, bringing you reactions to Tottenham content creators' predictions ahead of what is a massive game against Fulham at the weekend. Of course, Arsenal don't play, so if we can win, we'll put points on the board. And they always say, Jack, points on the board is better than games in hand. But how are you ahead of this one? It's a big one off the back of a big win at the weekend.
Feeling good, Dave. I've tried to prolong my happy clapping as much as possible, and after the last result, was very easy to do so. Feel very good after the last result. Feel on top of the world. Nowhere near as nervous going into this Fulham game as I was going into the previous fixture. And also, I heard actually that there's going to be one of those boat kind of traveling parades or kind of boat traveling parties over to the Fulham game, which sounds like absolute crack and absolute fun as well. So anybody that's on that one, hopefully you have a terrific time. But yeah, Dave, looking forward to this. I actually like the Craven Cottage. It's a place that one day maybe I hope to be able to see a game at. So yeah, look forward to this one.
You mentioned the boat party there. Hopefully there'll be a lot of good videos and Twitter reacts if we win for us to react to off the back of that, because I know it does get a bit boozy on there, and some good chants and stuff come out. So hopefully the away fans enjoy their trip down. But look, we won't waste any more time. We'll get straight into it and we'll find out what our content creators are going to predict. Hopefully, a lot more, I would say, cocky heading into this week than maybe what they were last week. That would be absolutely brilliant. But let's get into it. The first content creator we have coming up here is Shawnee from Spurs Talk Show. Let's go.
Yes, guys, Sean Butler here from the Spurs Talk Show. I hope you're all well. This is my Fulham prediction. Listen, Fulham, tough team to kind of predict what version of them you're going to see. At home this season and recent past, they've managed to be able to beat Arsenal, Bournemouth and Brighton fairly convincingly. They've also lost to Aston Villa recently, as well as having poor performances in the Cups. So not really sure what sort of team they're going to turn up. But Tottenham need to put on their best version of themselves, need to play similar styles and similar veins as we did against Aston Villa last weekend. If Tottenham play their best version of themselves, I've got absolutely no doubts that we can take the 3 points. But I do expect Fulham to maybe augment their system a little bit, much like the last two managers, Glasner and Unai Emery, have done as well. I'd be surprised if we don't see a squeezed midfield where players like Palhinha can try and control the tempo of the game a little bit more. But ultimately, guys, for me, I think it's going to be one of those days where Tottenham will struggle for the first 45, but eventually grind down the opposition with wave after wave of possession and attack. And eventually you're going to see goals. I'm expecting another top performance from Brennan Johnson. I'm expecting Sonny to get on the scoreline. And I'm going to say Tottenham 3, or Fulham 1, Tottenham 3. Come on, you Spurs.
3-1 Spurs. Exciting game. Also kind of sounds like a typical Spurs game where it takes a while for us to eventually get that breakthrough. We do usually have to kind of break teams down, grind them down. Whereas before, in the beginning of the season, not as much the case. We usually just scored straight away. And that's kind of how Spurs have been playing in recent. So I don't really doubt Sean in that one. Also, he's right. I mean, Marco Silva, smart manager. He will set up in some sort of fashion that could cause Spurs problems. But then again, I also rated Unai Emery a lot, like him as a manager, and I expected him to cause us a lot of problems. I wouldn't say they nearly did as much as I expected. So we'll see how this one goes. But 3-1 sounds like a fun game.
I would have hoped, he would the cockiness or the confidence would have extended to a clean sheet, Jack, off the back of one against Aston Villa. No one would have expected it. Look, Fulham will cause us problems on the counter-attack, balls into the box, big men attacking it and stuff like that. But I hope we have enough about us to be able to keep that clean sheet. Look, what I would say is he mentioned Palhinha, Jack. For me, that guy got away with absolute murder at our stadium earlier on in the season in the 2-0 win. He made foul after foul after foul, and I don't think he got a book until like the 80-odd minute, which was absolutely shocking. I remember Dozie made one tackle, the referee came straight out with a yellow. So I do hope that the referee will get a handle on him very quickly, because all Fulham want to do is pull down our attacks, ruin our rhythm and flow at every opportunity, and stifle us that way, almost bore us into maybe making a mistake. So we've got to stay switched on. He also mentioned about us sort of probably winning the game in the second half. I think I expect that as well. We've seen it's a recurrent pattern this season. First half, we sort of struggle. We just move the ball around, try and tire them out. Second half, then it's like the blitzkrieg, bang, bang, quick fire. And we end up, taking all 3 points. So big up, Shawnee. Really appreciate the video, my man. And everyone get over and check him out on Spurs Talk Show.
We have Sonny Talk Spurs. We'll see what he has to say. And Mr. Sunny, back from his vacations, apparently, not just one vacation, but he said more than one vacation. I said to him as well, I like the hair. It's looking fluffy, for this video, but hopefully he's back at Talksport Towers working hard. I heard they missed him, and we missed him as well. So he's back in the UK. Big up to Sunny.
No, big up, Sonny. At least he's not travelling this week, which is absolutely a huge plus. And hopefully he got to stick it to Gabby Bonlahor last week, which would have been absolutely brilliant. But look, let's find out what sort of mood he's in this week.
What's going on, Dave and Jack? It's Sonny from Sonny Talks Spurs, and you want my prediction ahead of Tottenham versus Fulham. Tottenham absolutely incredible against Aston Villa last weekend, blowing them to smithereens. Fulham are a tricky proposition though, because Fulham away from home, some games they've won 5-0, impressed, thrashed West Ham. In other games, they've not been too good. They've got some good players. They've got Broja, they've got Muniz, one or the other. I get him confused with the Crystal Palace right back. But Tottenham, after doing what they did to Villa, should be able to sweep Fulham aside as well. Away from home will be tricky, but I think with our firepower, I have a lot of faith. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win.
3-0 win there. That's a big one from Sonny. I'd love to carry on, just keep smashing teams. That'd be 7 goals in 2 games if we do it in that sort of fashion. And he is right. Fulham have been a confusing team this season. They've won very, convincingly in certain games, and then also have lost very convincingly in other games as well, I'd say, this season. But that's sort of what you get with these kind of mid-table type of sides this season. I think Fulham are definitely the definition of one. They're going to show inconsistency. Munoz and Muniz, I believe it is Muniz this time around, but it is funny that 2 London clubs of Crystal Palace and Fulham did sign a Muniz and a Munoz. I do find that entertaining. But Dave, 3-0, I love that.
No, look, good to see a bit of confidence from Sonny in this one. I think he needs to go to Spain to learn the pronunciation of that one instead of spending his time in Lisbon. But look, I know people are mentioning Fulham's up and down nature, but that's just Fulham in the Premier League in general. It always has been in my whole lifetime. Look, I get it, they could turn up on the day and make it difficult, but at the end of the day, we've got to expect that, but we should have more than enough quality, like Sonny is alluding to be able to put Fulham to the sword and walk out of there with all 3 points. Look, they're not just going to die at home. They're not going to roll over and die at home. They're going to put up a fight. We have to expect that, but we're on form. We're starting to click going forward, and hopefully we have the same devastating nature as last week into this week, and hopefully we can get a nice comfortable victory and then roll on to Luton the following week.
Next up, it looks like we have Holly's Hotspurs. Holly, unfortunately, probably once again is going to be without Ledley King, but we'll forgive her again this time. But we do like her predictions. Let's see what she has to say.
Back to our match prediction against Fulham. Coming off the back, obviously, that incredible win away to Villa. Now that we go away to Craven Cottage, we've got to have the same kind of attitude. I think it's going to give us a lot of confidence, that Villa game, going into this one and the ones beyond. But we can't slip up now. We've got to make full advantage of what we did against Villa and do the same, if not more, against Fulham. Obviously, they lost to Wolves and Villa, but they did beat Man United and Brighton. So in that kind of respect, you can't really predict what they're going to do. For me, it's a must-win game. As we keep talking about the fixtures coming up, if we really want to shout at top 4, we've got to be winning this one, I think. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting one. I'm just hoping that we have the same intensity, and same high for goal, and we have some shots like we did against Villa. But I'm feeling more confident for this one than I was for Villa. I'm going to go 3-1 Spurs. Let's have it. Come on, you Spurs.
Another 3-1 we've gone from Holly there, and she's right. Carry that same mentality from the Aston Villa game into this Fulham one, and you'd like to think then that Spurs can go on a huge winning run. Take advantage of this confidence.
No, 100%. She's absolutely right. There's no excuses. These are the games we have to be picking up points. There's no point in going and whopping Aston Villa 4-0 and then dropping points at Craven Cottage. Yeah. You have to back it up with a win here, and then you also have to back it up with some of the other games, because we've got a run of games now where on paper you should be winning, and then you've got some harder games off the back of that, one after another. So we need to be picking up these points in order to sort of fight for the top 4 and cement top 4, like Holly's alluding to. So big up, Holly, and everyone get over over and check out IrishHotspur's. Still waiting on the Ledley King prediction, Jack, but we've about, 10 games to go, so hopefully Holly can swindle that one for us.
Let's head on over to Marlon, who got his prediction very wrong last time, and thank the Lord he did, because he predicted us to lose, and we won very convincingly. So Marlon, I'm not sure what I want you to predict. Maybe I do want you to predict another loss, but definitely, come on, give us the face this time, Marlon. And also, everybody, check out Spurs Kings TV. Let's see what he has to say.
Dave, Jack, it's Marlon from Spurs Kings TV. For this week, it's my prediction against Fulham. I nearly said Luton then, like, I'm a week ahead. So I was half right last week, half right. I said we'd go 2-0 up, and a lot of people doubted we'd go 2-0 up, but I didn't predict Unai Emery completely messing up his formation and playing into our hands. But for Fulham this week, I really hope the boys can carry on the momentum. You know, if we win our next 2 games before Arsenal play, 5 points behind them. Crap, I said it. I shouldn't have said it out loud. But, you know, this is where we are. And we need a good run to the end of the season. I think this Fulham game will tell us where we are, how we're going to dictate the title and who we're going to send it to. Yeah, because don't forget, we get to dictate who it goes to this year. But also gives us a heads up. Having Porro, Dragushin, Romero and Udogie, he just settled in so well against Villa, so well. So it was good to see. I know Van der Ven's out for a bit, but actually I'm not that worried. But to see all 4 of them back, and we keep a clean sheet, so it's no coincidence, is it? So for this one, I am gonna go, and I said I'd be optimistic this week, and I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Spurs win. And I think, again, we will go 2-0 up in the second half. I'm going to say second half because that's what we seem to be doing. And it'll be like a 10-minute spell again. But, yeah, Johnson's playing well. I think Johnson should start again. I think he should pretty much go with the same team. It worked wonderfully. But I've got a feeling he might go with Werner this week. But, yeah, Kulu, you know, I know a lot of people can complain about him, but he's been involved in all the goals. But, yeah, I'm going 2-1 Spurs. And make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. I love reading the comments afterwards, especially people that go, "Yeah, Marlon being optimistic again." It's great. But no, brilliant channel. Mad love to both of you. And yeah, if anyone's watching this, come over to Spurs King and check me, Ash Matic, and Haz out. But as always, come on, you Spurs. And in Ange we trust.
In Ange we trust. Great prediction there from Marlon. He's gone for a 2-1. That's probably the closest prediction I think we have received today. Optimistic Marlon, as per usual, Dave.
No. Look, it's good to see him being optimistic. You know, I think we're going to have to start getting a swear jar version, you know, a wrong prediction jar or something like that where you can pop a euro into. No, I do enjoy these predictions, though, from Marlon. You know, he keeps me on my toes. Interestingly, though, Jack, Werner in there ahead of Johnson. I mean, I would sit here and say that's delusional off the back of Johnson's performance and his impact in the game before. However, I didn't think Werner would have been dropped off his best performance of the season than he was.
Well, I was speaking to his partner in crime, Ashmatic, the other day, and he did mention that the dynamic that Postecoglou ideally would want, and maybe most Spurs fans would ideally want, would be a world where you don't really even know, like, who's going to be starting, you know, given, you know, each week, right? Because the competition is that strong, or the players are in a way so evenly matched, or to a degree, they're not, the gap between them isn't so big in quality, that there is that chance for, I don't know, maybe he might go with Werner today. Like, you know, there's a chance of that, instead of years in the past where it was just given, like, you just need to be able to kick a ball straight and you're going to be able to get into that starting 11 sometimes. So maybe that's what Postecoglou could be thinking about. Personally, though, I feel like he's going to go for Johnson again.
Yeah, look, it'd be interesting because Vern did come off the bench last week and score. He's got a real headache out wide.
You're right.
I mean, you know, Son, I would argue, didn't have his best of games, but still came out in the game with 1 goal, 2 assists. Kulusevski was involved in 3 of the goals. Johnson had an impact and played really well, and Werner came off the bench and scored. So there's a big headache going forward. But look, it's a place we want to get to. I think you're absolutely spot on. It's, you know, and long may it continue, and hopefully we can put Fulham to the sword. Beat them, because I do love a bit of cottage pie, Jack, especially on Saturday nights. It's really good with a bit of brown sauce. If anyone knows what brown sauce is, it's an Irish sauce, and it's absolutely lovely.
Usually I treat myself after a Spurs win, but perhaps I'll treat the missus because she's a big cheese person. So I'll get her some cottage cheese then, Dave, maybe after the game for herself. But Marlon, big up, my friend. Appreciate your prediction. Head on over to Spurs Kings TV, please. And we're ending with the Prophetron here. He's given us our prediction. Looks like a stormy, cold, wet one out there, and he's had to hunker in and come inside to give us his prediction. But let's see what the Tron has to say.
Hi there, this is Dermot, aka Dermatron from thfc till I die, your home of Tottenham, past, present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou. This is my match day prediction of Fulham versus Tottenham Hotspur at Craven Cottage on Saturday in the Premier League. Look, as I said earlier, and I've said it before, we have to back up the Villa win with a win against Fulham to put pressure on them, to put the ball in their court. And I think we can. I think we're going to see a completely different side to what was put out in the League Cup. And I still think Ange did right that night. A lot of fans don't agree with me, but I do. And I think he was right to do what he did. But look, it's a game. We've got a good 4-0 away. It's another away game. It's a London game, so we don't have to travel too far. And I think it's a winnable game. And I think we will beat Fulham. I think we're beating 4-0 or 5-0. I really do. I think we're going to batter them. But look, I'm going for a 5-0 win, guys. Big up. Please like and subscribe to the guys' channels. Yeah, and everyone else who's doing this pre-match prediction as well. All legends. Come on, you Spurs, and Big Ange we trust.
Big prediction there from Dermot. That's a big one, a 5-0. He's added 1+ to the last one, and that would be terrific. 9 goals in 2 games. No mention of his favorite player of all time, Brennan Johnson, though, in his score prediction. So a very professional one. He decided to keep it just to the team at hand and just to how he sees the game on playing. But Dave, 5-0, crazy.
I mean, look,
or maybe rational in the sense of a Dermatron of 5-0. Like I said, you can tell he's in a good place if he's putting in the 5-0s.
Oh, he's in a great place. Look, if that came from Marlon, I'd fall off my seat. But when it comes to Dermot, I sort of expect it. But look, it's not beyond the realms of impossibility. It could happen. I mean, it'd be a good place for us to end off heading into an international break and, somewhere to pick off coming off the back of it. So, I'd absolutely love it. I'm just not sure Fulham are going to be that open. But let's wait and see. We've got players that are confident, in form. Anything can happen on the day. Look, he makes a good point. We don't have far to travel, so we shouldn't be tired. We've had a full week's rest, so we should be able to put our all into it, and let's go and see what we can do. Big game this weekend. I can't wait for it, Jacko. I know some people, I think Marlon sort of mentioned it, if we win this weekend, beat Luton the following week or on our return, Arsenal have Man City on the return. If Man City beat Arsenal, that puts us 5 points behind them. I'm not just looking for top 4, Jack. I'm looking to avoid St. Tottenham stay this year. Let's hunt them down. Now's the start of us hunting down Arsenal. Right, moving on now. Let's see what Jose from Talking Ball, El Tal Cockerel, let's hear what he has to say this week. Big up, Jose. Predicted a clean sheet last week. Hopefully he's predicted another one this week. Let's go.
This is Jose from El Tal Cockerel with my match prediction for Fulham versus Tottenham, taking place on Saturday, 5:30 at Craven Cottage. What a victory last week, eh, lads? What a bloody victory last week. We've been crying out for finishing off teams and finishing games, and boy, did we do it last week. We've lost Mickey van der Ven for this game, but we've got the Dragon who appeared and will be playing, and I'm just hoping that we continue from where we've left off. Fulham have hit form, they've been playing well of late, but so have Villa in all many respects, and I think that we go there, and I think styles make matches, and I think that stylistically, I think Fulham are there for the taking for us stylistically. It's interesting because he's got conundrums now. He's got players that are in form and have started playing really well, and he's got choices in the front three, he's got choices in midfield that he can now make. So yeah, it's really, really interesting. It might be a tough game, but I think we'll break them down in the end. And I'm going to say Tottenham will win this game 2-0. However, what I will say is I'd like us to carry on thumping teams 3-4, 5-0. I want to get with Dave and with Dermot and with Jimbo and all these and Kuva, all these other people that want to see us just banging loads and loads of goals. But I'll take a 2-0. If it's anything more, it's a bonus. But I'll take a 2-0 victory on Saturday. And can I say, carry on supporting the Irish Hotspur. These chaps are immense. They do lots of great work, and they're pillars of our community. So big up Dave, Jack, and the Irish Hotspur. Keep supporting, keep subscribing, and keep liking them. Take care, lads. Aye.
Big up to Jose. The great prediction there. And a 2-0. I mean, when I think of a 2-0, Dave, I think professional.
Yeah, look, absolutely professional. Look, at the end of the day, I don't. It's hard to expect Spurs to rock up and put another 4 by Fulham back to back on away games. But look, at the end of the day, Jack, performances do matter to me, but I don't care. Yeah, as long as we win, I just want to get over the line on this one. I do not mind. Now it's just about putting points on the board. Even if you don't play well or putting your best performance, you need to find a way to win. It's the business end of the season. But I would like to get it done professionally and without any sort of heartache, Jack. That would be ideal. A nice, pleasant weekend.
If you had the choice between the 3-1 that I think Sean gave us or 2-0 from Jose, what would you go for?
Oh, I'd probably take the 2-0, being brutally honest. I absolutely love a clean sheet.
Another clean sheet.
All depends when that one goal comes, though, Jack. If it was late on in the game and it was sort of like a consolation, I'd take the 3-1. But if it was one where they scored first, I'm not sure I'd be able to handle it.
Good answer. Good answer. It's much more complicated, those sort of score lines. A lot of details behind them and context needed. Well, everybody, really do appreciate you all sending in your predictions. Thanks to Dave as well for chopping this up, editing this all up together as well. Please smash that like button for all the work put into this. Big up to all the creators as well for sending in their predictions. Do check out all of their respective channels. But Dave, any final words from yourself?
Yeah, look, I'm going to put a nice recipe in the comment section for you guys. Make sure you get your cottage pies at the ready this weekend. Devour it just like we're going to do to them at their place. Let's go. Big game. Come on, you Spurs. Saturday morning, pre-match pump up. Be there or be square. As always, though, come on, you Spurs. In the mighty hands we trust. We
In the big
never
we trust.
stop.
We never stop. See you, everybody.